Okay, there is a hum. Got to be coming from that. So we turn that down. This might be doing two things at one time right now. I might actually have the green screen up with me in the one side, and just as soon as I let somebody in here in a minute, it's going to do away with the other one, which is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this and let the first person in, which will kill the other effect I had, and that's fine. That's to be expected. And it looks like it's Gary. I'm not hearing anything though. Is my volume? Yeah, my volume's good. He's connecting to audio, so that's that same one issue. And I have no way of knowing. Wow, that looks horrible. That is just terrible over there. Let me refresh that and see. Nope. That is, oh, there it goes. Hi, Tony. Hi, Rick, or Robert. RM. Ken. Ah. The day I've had, I'd almost rather had that conversation. So it looks like Gary finally got connected. Hello again, Gary.
How you doing?
I'm finally getting to unwind a little bit and relax. It's been a long day. Man, that is just terrible. Although it's showing both, I'm going to have to adjust that.
Yeah, they can. Your volume's low on Zoom also.
But it can be. Let me see if this fixes that. Yeah, that's fine. Oh no, except now there's two of me. Check that out. I gotta figure out what to do with that.
Weird.
No, it's actually doing what it's supposed to do, but it's not supposed to do it whenever I'm in Zoom by myself. That's the effect I'm supposed to have, to where when the first one of me is in front, is actually in the foreground of everything and not in the scene itself, and that's what I wanted. But now I'm being told the volume is low on YouTube.
It's low on Zoom also.
Well, I'm not sure why that would be. I know, the world, one of me is plenty. Let me go over here and do something real quick like. So let's turn that off. That'll get rid of that. Then it's going to be the green screen to Zoom. There's the pumpkin shows up. I think that's pretty neat. I'm not sure how the stream looks, but let me figure out the audio. So I'm going to do an audio check for the stream itself. This is an audio check for the stream itself. I don't know why it's so out of focus. I've been having issues all day actually. I don't know if it's my computer or YouTube or what, but it's just, I know right now YouTube is horribly out of focus.
And don't worry about it, it's not us.
Well, it shows, yeah, really. It shows 1080p is what it's being broadcast on, but it only looks like it's really 720. That made no difference. So how's the audio now in Zoom?
A little bit louder, that's good.
Okay.
Needs to start.
Well, all I did was turn up the audio in OBS itself, which OBS is not affiliated with Zoom whatsoever.
I understand.
So it's just nuts. But I literally worked for a good hour trying to get this effect to where I could do what I did earlier today. And I was right. I got a copyright violation already. Copyright notification, not a violation. Which I knew that was going to happen, so no big deal. Let me... Nope, don't want to do that. Wrong one. Let me go over here and I just put that in there for right now. That's fine. Close that. Alright, now I'm going to get back to the stream and just leave it be like it is. It might, I don't know why that's so fuzzy. It's just, it's grainy. And I don't know why. And I'm too tired to try to figure out why. So The inspection.
How'd it go?
Well, there was 45 pages of stuff.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
Well, let's hear what it was.
And it was condensed down. It was condensed.
Guy pays to be a blowjob.
Yeah, really. Remember, we're on YouTube. It was condensed down to 12 items. Well, actually, it's more like 16 items. But the first one, and this is where she and I are arguing over, observed evidence of previous wood-destroying insect activity in garage. In parentheses, minor damage visible. Recommend a full inspection and treatment / repairs as necessary by qualified contractors. I flat out told her I'm not doing that. What he saw was, we had a chicken brooder in the garage last winter, and all the food and shavings and straw and all that other stuff created so much dust. It does look like insects were in there, but it's not. So,
just as I say, start over. Why don't you have somebody at a feed store say something like that on a piece of paper with a note on it?
Well, I'll come back to it. Then number 2, she scratched out. She didn't want anything done. It said shingles showing wear of loss of granules, typical with age. Recommend to budget for replacement in the near future. Well, it's a good thing she scratched it out because I was going to stick to my guns, and if that stays, we don't sell the house. Number 3, roofing. Observe the plumbing DWV pipe roof flashing is failing. Recommend a qualified roofing expert repair replace. Okay. Number 4.
That should be cheap though.
That's simple. Number 4, electrical. This is where this gets so nuts. Observe the electrical service entrance wire installation sheathing is deteriorating and loose. Yeah, it was that way when I moved in, and it's still that way when I'm getting ready to move out. And, recommend a licensed electrician repair update as necessary. Okay, well, whatever. Under electrical, observed. Now sit down for this one because this will get you. Observed no visible grounding rod at the main meter box. Recommend a licensed electrician evaluate and repair as necessary. I called the electric company and I said, do I have to have a grounding rod coming off my meter?
No.
And the guy goes, what? And I read exactly. He goes, no. He goes, don't even worry about that. He goes, you've been there for over 2 years, right? I said, yes, sir. He goes, have you ever had any electrical issues? I said, no, sir. He goes, then I don't know what they're wanting.
Actually, you probably have the rod.
There's not. It comes in the air, goes into a pipe. He walked me through it. It was a real good conversation. He walked me through how it works, and it's not grounded per se into the ground, but I'm sure it's grounded.
Well, no, they could actually come out of the box and run a separate wire out to a rod, literally a rod.
Yeah, 6 foot mine is.
Yeah, 6 to 8 foot rod in the ground with that sledgehammer, and then they attach the copper wire to it back to your box.
Yeah, simple ground.
Yep,
so number 6 under electrical. Been this way since 1954. This is not going to change. Number 6. Observed the electrical breaker box not accessible, blocked by the water heater. Recommend a licensed electrician evaluate and repair, update as necessary for safety.
Can you open it to change the fuse?
You got to get on a ladder and reach over the water heater, but yes.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not. Number 7. Observed open spliced wires / missing junction boxes in the attic. Recommend licensed So I called my handyman. He come out and he said, yeah, I can do the flashing. I can put the boxes in. That's not a problem. So that aspect's done. Then I called the realtor. I said, the only caveat to this is your handyman is not a licensed electrician. Is that going to fly? Well, I don't know. I said, it's either yes or no. You're going to recommend a handyman to me. I'm using the handyman you recommended, and now you're the people that put it in writing. It's got to be a licensed electrician.
No, let me interrupt you totally. This one I do know for a fact. I buy more houses than you'll ever buy. Did he say has to or recommend? Yeah. Use your English language.
Recommend, I'm reading it right. Recommend a licensed electrician evaluate. Recommend a licensed electrician. Recommend a licensed electrician. Recommend a licensed electrician.
If I recommend you go shovel the snow now, are you going to or winter now? That doesn't say do it now or else. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Then we get to the plumbing. Observe the crawl space. From the crawl space, the bathtub drain leaks. No, it doesn't. It's steel and it's old and it's got sweat from. It doesn't leak anyway. Recommend repair by a licensed plumber. That's not. I already told her that's not being done. She agreed. Bathrooms. Observe the sink drain slow. Well, no shit. You filled the sink up with water by plugging it, and then you stood there and watched it drain. It's going to take a second to drain because it's 2.5 gallons of water. It's not going to drain instantly. So.
Small diameter tailpipe off the sink.
Exactly. So, we're going to snake it. Guy's going to do that for free for me. Observe the tub drain stopper not functional. Recommend repair by licensed plumber. Well, no, a licensed plumber can't repair it because the damn chain broke and it fell down into the bottom, and I got it to where the water drains, and we left it because the last time we looked into this, the guy told me, and I quote, if you want to replace that, you got to replace the whole tub. I'm not replacing it. You go buy a 59-cent rubber stopper if you want to take a bath, put it in a drain, tub is stopped. It'll hold water.
I would actually do that. She doesn't like it.
Well, when I called my realtor called me tonight when I was waiting for Lorna to get off work. She goes, well, what's the status? I said, well, I haven't heard back from Jason. That's, her. I said, that's your handyman. And she says, Ken, if it comes down to it, if the electrical stuff's going to be a holdup and they want it done with the license, I'll pay for it out of my pocket. I said, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Because I told her, I said, we don't have to sell the house. And she caught my drift. And then she says, well, what don't you like about this? I said, I've already given up $4,000. Do you have any idea what this is going to cost me? Because this is coming out of my pocket. And I've already given up $4,000. And she's, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Let me talk to Linda. I'll get back to you. So.
Well, I'll tell you, and I mean, listen for what you want. Most of those are bullshit.
Oh, I know.
No, I agree with the tub was not leaking. The electric in the roof attic, I would do that one. If you're could be leaking under the stack up on the roof, I'd do that for you. Screw them.
Yeah, well, it's a flashing anyway. It's not like it's a big deal.
No, that's what I mean. I can't make it do that.
And then she calls back 10 minutes later. She says, it just dawned on me, you've got all those pictures on your wall in the front room. I said, yes, ma'am. She goes, what are you going to do with those? I said, I'm not leaving them. And she goes, are they up there with nails? I said, yes, ma'am. Well, what are you going to do about the holes in the wall? You know what I told her? Nothing. You could hear a pin drop. And she goes, well, I recommend. I says, Jan, I'm not doing anything. There were holes in the walls from when the people that lived here before me had their pictures up. And you know what? We either put our pictures above it, or hid the holes or whatever, or we painted over and what. If she don't like it, then give me her $1,000 escrow because she's the one that's going to deny the sale going forward. So we're looking at 4 houses in Indiana tomorrow.
All those, only less than half of them would be even worth doing.
Huh?
I said of those, half of those would be less than worth doing. The rest, forget it.
Yeah, well, 2 of them are side by side condominiums, and they're both for sale. Like we really got $400,000 sitting around the 2 condominiums, and it's in the same general area as the first one we looked at. Basically the same floor plan, and then there's 2 houses. Actually, I think we're looking at 5 now that I think about it. And then there's 2 houses just inside the county line road in Indianapolis, close enough that I can deal with that. And then there's one down in Franklin, which I know is Greek to you guys, and then hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we get a look at the house behind my mom's house and see if we like it, and then go forward with that as well.
One thing. Your inspector is always going to recommend a license such and such. I mean, that's basically what he's got to do.
He's recommending it.
Say recommend a handyman.
Right. No, everything's recommended with
No,
that.
that's form. That's standards.
I mean, that's just a standard thing he's gonna say.
Sure.
Makes him sound professional.
Well, and he might get into some issue with his license if he said, I recommend a handyman do this.
Actually, I checked, and the inspectors down there do not have to have a license. They have to take one 4-hour class.
Yeah, I don't know about the inspector, but I called her back and said this is the issue because Jason will do it for me for $30 an hour, and it'd take him a couple hours. He's already told me that, plus parts. If I get a licensed electrician out here, I'm looking at a minimum of $100 an hour, minimum.
Oh, yeah. $100 just for the service call.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and he wasn't sure. I should show. I don't have a picture of that. He wasn't sure on the one thing. It's been like that since the day we moved in. I looked up my old inspection, and it was that way. It hasn't deteriorated any worse than it was 2 years ago. So.
Well, you run into some strange things. When we sold our first house, the inspector found a couple of electrical issues. And the company I had hired to rewire the place years earlier screwed it up.
Yeah.
I mentioned the other day there was a ground fault circuit. It wasn't right. There was another one that looked like it had a grounded plug and it didn't. Well, the lady, she and her husband who were wanting the house, she had been shocked with some bad electrical stuff in the past.
Mm.
So she wanted it fixed, and I understand that.
Oh yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. Her father was a licensed electrician, and I offered to cut the price by enough so she could pay her father to do it. She said no.
Maybe
So
she
I
got
fixed
shocked.
it myself. I fixed everything myself, and when her husband came to look at it again, he and I went around with my little doohickey here,
Yeah.
and I showed him that everything was right, and they took it.
Yep.
All it cost me was a little bit of labor and a little bit of stuff for some sheetrock repair where I had cut a hole in the wall.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't understand why she didn't go with having her dad do it.
Maybe she was
Found
working.
out Maybe he was the one who wired the place.
Right.
Yeah, Jeff,
You know,
in Michigan, or in my area, Oakland County and Wayne County, the two big ones, if you don't have it wired, in other words, you got a 3-prong plug, and you only have 2 wires, that is against code.
Well,
Put all
see.
the money over.
I had paid what was supposed to be the best electrical company in town to do some rewiring for this house. This was a Second World War house in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, built for the Manhattan Project. And it was all 2-prong stuff in the 40s.
Yeah.
2-wire stuff. And these guys, because it was hard to get a wire up there, simply replaced a 2-prong, a 2-wire outlet with a 3-wire outlet, and didn't have the ground wire.
Right.
And I didn't find it until several years later, so I basically had no case against them. But I was quite irritated. The same guys miswired a ground fault interrupt circuit in the basement, or in the crawl space where you're standing on the dirt and you want to plug in something. And with my little gadget and some basic wiring knowledge, I fixed it myself.
Yeah, no, that I would want fixed if I was buying a house, you know what I'm saying?
Right, I mean, I understood what she wanted, but I just thought it was strange that she didn't take my offer of dropping the price enough to have somebody come fix it. But, live and learn. Sorry, Ken.
You're fine. You're fine. I probably could fix the stuff in the attic, as all as it is the wires are capped. They're just not in a box, so they're just being picky. The thing with the nails though cracked me up when she was like, "Oh yeah, what do you?" Nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing about it. There's a gallon and a half of paint they can have. They want to paint it, paint it. So I mean, obviously she wants the sale to go through because when I told her we weren't going to pay for the electric or licensed electrician, she said I'll pay that out of my pocket. So I think she recognizes this woman is in a situation where she's got to have a place to live.
Well, the electric box, I would call and check to see if it's in code the way it is. It's almost true.
It's grandfathered in. This dumb house was built in '54, and it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. We looked into actually moving it one other time, and it just wasn't at the time we weren't thinking about moving, but it just wasn't worth the time and the effort to do it. And there's not really a good place to put it. It literally would have to go from where it's at now into a closet, which would really be less accessible than where it is right now. So, and she agreed with me. She said, no, you don't need to move that. Just leave it.
Well, you run into some things on the last house we sold back there. One of the things the inspector found, the wire that comes in from the pole into the house. There was a steel pole that went up through the eave or the soffit on one end of the garage.
It didn't occur probably.
And then the wire hung down from that. And they found that the wire was hanging too low near the roof. And they just absolutely wouldn't buy it unless we fixed it. And we were already here in Vegas, so I paid to have it fixed. But I thought, but evidently it did not meet code, apparently.
Well, that's the first when she called, she says, I got the report. You want to come look at it? I'm like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And after I read it, I set it down. I said, what has to be fixed to bring this house up to code? And she said, nothing. We're done. Seriously. If there's nothing out of code, I don't need to fix it, honestly. Think about it.
Did they say anything about the roof?
No, the roof, in fact, the guy said it's got another 20 years of life left on it.
Yep.
So,
Can't beat that with a stick.
no. No.
Hey, you know, hey Ken, is it brand new? Well, does it look brand new?
It does.
Then it must be. Does it look brand new?
Yeah, I mean,
Don't ever say I said does it look brand new.
in my opinion, it looks brand new, yes.
Oh, never be definitive in a contract way.
Well, he put it in the inspection. It's got a good 20 years of life left, so. Because that was what I was so afraid of. Honestly, this little stuff here, this is just nitpicky bullshit. They're just trying to get something. It's all it is.
No, it's just an inspector trying to prove it's worth the $300 they paid him.
I guess.
Well, and the other thing, I mean, when we bought the house we're in now, there was a lot of little stuff that was found. And I asked them to fix it all. I mean, the worst they could do is say no.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when I called her back for the final time, I said, okay, this is what we are willing to do. But before I do anything, you need to talk to the buyer and make sure she understands this is what we are going to do or what we will do. But I'm not going to do anything if she says, no, that's not enough. Because if I fix all this and then she says, no, I want it all fixed, we're right back to square one and I've wasted time and money fixing this stuff. Because the next time...
This way. It's going to be fixed the next...
Yeah, I mean, next time the inspector might come in and... Oh, yeah. You know the strike plate for a door? When you close the door? When you pull a door closed? The little plate that goes over the hole is called a strike plate.
Yep.
We're missing one. I'm like, no, we're not. I know exactly where it's at. It's in the kitchen drawer. Been there since the day we moved in. I was like, why is this in this kitchen drawer? Well, now I know because it goes to the door behind me. Who knew? Oh, what a day, what a day. So.
I just fixed the door with that today after I got home.
Well, you know the first thing I did when I got home, I did this. So the first thing I did when I got home is I went, I'll be damned, it is missing. Oh, I can't get in. Door locked. I mean, the door secure. I'm gonna grab a coffee. So who knew? You gotta get my
The average lifespan of a
Thank you.
asphalt shingled roof is around 20 years.
Must be
You
a brand
can
new.
buy 30-year shingles, but
Yeah.
depending where you live. First house I owned, we had it re-roofed twice. And we didn't live there 20 years. But there was a hailstorm there one
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes, depending where you live, it's not worth to buy the 30-year shingles.
Yeah. Plus 30
In
years.
those days, I had the whole thing re-roofed on this house for $1,500 the first time. Now, the same house had cost me between $5,000 and $6,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys know I put in the flower bed last spring and summer from the bricks from my neighbor, right?
No.
Oh, well, I'll show you pictures when I find him. Anyway, one of the things he dinged was the flower bed because he said it wasn't. He said the concrete was unstable. I said, well, one, it's a flower bed. It's not the sidewalk. Two, it's on a bed of rocks. So of course it's going to be uneven because I don't need it to be nice and neat and pretty. I like the uneven look. That's how picky this guy was.
Well, he's just making an observation on some of those things. It doesn't mean it has to be fixed.
It was on the recommended list by him to her to be fixed. She just obviously saw the fact it was a flower bed and there's nothing to do you can do to fix it. Unless you go in there and level it and put concrete under it.
And when you put soil in there and plants and mulch, it's gonna look the same.
It's got plants and soil and all that.
Hey, Lorna.
Hi.
Hey!
Where am I looking at? Right here?
The camera.
Oh,
You're looking right here.
Okay.
Right there at that camera.
I know. Hi, everybody.
Tired, she's worked all day.
The handsome one is the guy with his hand raised.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, what was Carrie's show like today?
Don't know, we were in the doctor's office, so I didn't see any of it.
I saw it. He built a pre-built motherboard, CPU, cooler, RAM, and everything that he done on a gigabyte board a few weeks back. Put in an Antec case. Only an hour and 43 minutes long.
Wow.
So he had one that was just sitting there waiting for a case, in other words.
It's for sale, he said. Make me an offer.
Yeah.
$500.
Well, Gary outbid me.
It was an older gigabyte board. It was a A320 model.
Okay, 300.
Yeah.
I want to see something here.
I wouldn't buy nowadays. I wouldn't buy anything under a X470 or higher. Maybe a 550 or 560.
But the 400, that's the 10th gen stuff, isn't it? 400 series stuff?
I think so. I'm not that sure on the.
I mean, the one I built, I used, it was a Z490, and that was the 10th gen stuff. I assume the 11th is the 500 and the 12th is the 600 series stuff. But I'm just, you know what they said in the military about when you make an assumption?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, don't like that, so I'm going to turn that effect off.
Green.
It should go away on the stream here in just a second.
Green screen.
Yeah, but it's a green screen on here, but on everywhere else the application it's not a green screen. What it does is it blocks everything out and you're
It
transparent.
looks black on the stream, but green on Zoom.
Right, on the Zoom itself it looks black on YouTube, but over here it is green. It's physically green.
Well, it's interesting, you see my Las Vegas sign here.
Right.
The original thing is white around the sign, it's not black.
Huh.
And yet when I use it as the background here in Zoom, everything around the sign becomes black. Don't ask me why.
Huh.
Did you hear Alex? Did you hear if Alex got their laptop today?
I haven't heard anything from Alex. I got an email from BH Ringer late this afternoon, and he said he's feeling better, but he's still having trouble catching his breath, and it sucks getting old, and we all know that feeling. And then he talked about the picture that he sent me, but he did say, yeah, go ahead and use his image, so that's in the works to redo that anyway. And that was it. And my realtor, both here and over in Indiana. So
Well, although it sounds like your sale probably will happen there, right?
I'm thinking it's going to get worked out. Yes. When we kind of put our foot down and said, look, we've already given up $4,000. What more does she want? And she agreed with us. She says, yes, you got a good point. And I said, and besides, we do not have to sell our house. We're not in a position where we have to sell the house. We want to sell the house, and we want to move to Indiana. We're not like the buyer who in what's today? In 17 days is homeless. You know? So, and she caught our drift, and she understood, and she called the buyer, and when she offered to pay for the electrician, I think that's when she realized the fact we're not messing around on, we don't have to sell the house.
But I mean, that if you have use her handyman and you spend $60, a couple of parts to fix a few little things, that's some evidence of good faith, so to speak.
Well, sure, yeah, and I don't mind
And
little things.
that ought to be, you're throwing her a bone that you really don't have to throw.
Right. No, that's true. That's very true.
And from what you read, nothing there is showstopper.
No,
I don't think so either.
no, there's not.
It's a wish list.
Now, we argued on this stupid inspection, but then she says, well, you got to get a termite inspection anyway, and don't just include the garage. Well, then just tell me I got to get a termite inspection. Don't put it in this stupid little report right here, you know, and tell me I got to do it specifically different. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you that. Whatever.
Then, yeah, most states you have to get what's called a standard termite letter.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but I think it's all going to work out. There may be a couple little... Oh, and they moved closing back to the 10th of March because... Anyone?
No.
Clueless.
Well, the weather last week, it snowed, and that shut this town down for 3 days. I'll buy that. I'm okay with that. I got it. The second reason was there are 2 federal holidays in the month of February. They are,
President's Day,
that's one, and the second one is,
Valentine's Day.
no, but we'll come back to that. The second one is Lincoln's birthday.
That's federal holiday?
I don't know if it's federal, it's clearly Illinois, but, because she
Yeah.
said they're the banks and everything, so, okay, yeah, kind of so on that. And then she said, and Valentine's Day. And I looked at her and I said, Jan, Valentine's Day is not a holiday. A lot of people would like it to be, but it's not.
Yeah.
So,
Not a
unbelievable.
federally approved holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
But the extra week benefits us. It gives us another, because if this would have came back and she would have said, oh, we're good, closing would have been set for the 3rd, now the 10th, that gives us an additional week to go find a house and hopefully make a one-time move from this house to that house. That's to our benefit as well.
So that may work out well.
Yes, yes.
Not guaranteed, but.
The mechanic wants to know, do I have a Ferrari? No, there's no Ferrari.
It's a little Matchbox Ferrari.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, some of the things in the garage that I would have thought they would have wanted fixed is there's these fiber-looking black panels that are on the roof, and about 3 of them have worked their way loose due to age, and I've just been too lazy to go up there and fix them. I really thought she would want that fixed, but didn't say anything about that.
Good.
The gutter that's barely hanging on, and when I say literally by a leaf, no mention of that at all. Things that are apparent, I don't get it. You know?
You can fix that gutter with about six big long screws.
Yeah.
Hold with the nails.
Yeah.
I mean, you got those nails that are about that long, the gutter nails.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to doing it, and then last year when everything that happened. So, but I think it's going to work out. I think you're right. I think in the long run there might be a little bit of don't want to do that, but okay, I understand that, and it's not going to be much money. I don't think. I really don't. And Jason, he's done handiwork for me before. He's been under my house 3 times, and he's really thorough, and he's really fast. So, and he's fair. You know, he charges $30 an hour. I think one time he was like at 45 minutes. He goes, just give me $20. I'm like, no, I'll give you 30. It's closer to an hour than it is to a half hour. He's like, nah, just give me $20. And then the last time he was like, we'll just catch it up on the next time. He's a good old Illinois farmer boy, you know. So, and as soon as she said a handyman, I called him this afternoon. I don't know where Alex is at, Laconic. Because Kind of wondering that myself, actually. Let me see if I
Probably
can.
show up in a little bit.
Well, if you
Working
got
on that laptop.
if you got that laptop, he's working on the laptop. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I'll send you.
Gary, no, his mouth's working out.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll send him a quick message and see what's going on.
Hey, we're zooming. Where are you?
Did you know Zoom has an SOOM? Me neither. Alright, message sent.
You know Zoom has a closed caption feature?
I did know that actually.
What do you mean by closed caption?
Where it takes your voice and translates it to words.
Oh, okay.
Hard of hearing. You gotta go into the web and turn it on.
Either that or you get someone with a megaphone behind you go, "And tonight's top story!"
Eric Morris.
Thank you very much.
Or you just turn up the volume to 100%.
Yeah, speaking of volume, how does the audio sound?
Good.
Okay. Because I re-listened to last night's stream and there was one hell of a horrible hum in there from somewhere. I have no clue.
Whenever Tim said something, I heard static.
Yeah. It was
Tim's microphone's a little out of balance, maybe? Is that such a
It
thing?
was a little loud. I had to turn my volume down a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah. So I did manage to squeeze in about 40 minutes of television today, and I watched the Steve Martin version of the Pink Panther. And that's the dumbest
So that
humor.
existed.
Oh yeah, he did Pink Panther 1 and 2. He remade both of them, but it's just the stupidest, slapstick, dumbest humor there is, but that's what I needed. I really did. Kevin Kline was in it too. Hey King Logan, good to see you. There's Mr. Cheek. Ken, I didn't know you were streaming.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all. I'm here now.
I thought you were working hard on something.
I kind of am, but I can be on here at the same time.
What are you working hard on? Let us guess. A laptop.
No.
Okay.
My school actually, the place I went to school with, they're actually looking for an IT director for the new building. They got about 30 minutes from me, so I'm trying to go apply for the position there.
Hey, you never know, that might be,
Nice.
since they know you there, that might be something in your favor.
And you're familiar with it.
First Laconic says, hello Alex in the stream. I don't know if you're watching it or not.
Not at the moment.
Well, you got a fan, you better reach out and say hi. Or hello. Or how's it going?
You mentioned Steve Martin. I'm not a fan of his slapstick stuff at all, but I dearly love his banjo playing.
He is a very talented musician.
I mean, he's played with some very good people.
Yes, he has.
Alison Krauss.
Lester Scruggs.
Yeah,
Yep.
Alison Krauss is pretty good too.
And,
I think her latest adventure was with the guy from Zeppelin, Robert Plant.
Yeah.
He's got to be about 97 years old now.
Yeah.
if you look for Steve Martin's banjo stuff on YouTube, he was on the Tonight Show or one of them with some old time, really good guys like Lester Scruggs.
Man, those 73 years on Robert Plant have been rough 73 years. He's only 73. Wow. So I don't know if you guys caught it earlier or not. I was just having a little bit of fun at myself when I did Ken Stout live ... sings. And I said, I'll probably catch a violation on this. And sure enough, I got notification of a copyright thing. Oh well. I got 3 more lined up to go when I feel the need to release those.
I've been watching somebody that's been replaying short clips out of other stuff. And nothing seems to happen sometimes. The various
I don't even know. I don't even honestly.
things you watch. I mean, like if you have a short something, say if you have, I don't know, 20 seconds out of The Simpsons or 20 seconds out of whatever.
Gotta bear with me a minute. She set up a showing at noon to 12:30 in Franklin, and she wants the addresses of the other ones. So I apologize to both Zoom and YouTube. I'm going to be tied up for about 1 second here.
Time's
Well,
up.
all those in favor of Greg going in the waiting room, aye.
I,
Greg.
well, I just found out something good.
And that is.
Finding out something bad.
The one account that I was always supposed to, that I was told at college that I would always have access to,
You do not.
because they changed their email system. They basically are blocking everybody. Have blocked everybody out that had accounts previous to last year, 2021. So I can't get on my account, but thankfully I had already applied for a job at the school, so I had already uploaded a copy of my college transcripts to them, or unofficial transcripts, so I was able to get those back.
I don't know, it depends on the school. Some schools let alumni keep accounts and then others drop them after
The
a certain
reason
period
why
of
I'm not
time.
able to, the reason why I wasn't able to have access is because they're changing over their login mechanism to be able to log into all their stuff. They're making it like Google has it now, where you've got one username and password to access like your Gmail and your YouTube account and all that. They're making it so that everybody can log, so that you can log into your email, you can log into the online classes, and you can log into the online, log into the computers on campus using the same username and password, instead of having to have separate ones for each account. And that's the reason. And they're changing from like for Gmail, instead of using Google to log in, they're authenticating it through Microsoft. So that's how come I lost access to the normal way to my.
What are they using, the Microsoft Authenticator app or just,
They're using something. They're still using, like, for their email, for their students, they're still using Gmail. But when you go to Google.com and put in your college email address, it will redirect you to Microsoft to authenticate, and then redirect you back to Gmail for your email.
They're using an authenticator like Jeff said.
yeah, I don't know. I have a Microsoft Authenticator app on my phone that I use for a couple of accounts. Google has an Authenticator app as well, I think.
But they're not forcing everybody to download the Microsoft Authenticator or the Google Authenticator on your phone for like two-factor. They're just making it go through Microsoft on your browser.
Okay, so it just shoots out to Microsoft and comes back.
Then let Sean.
Do what, Gary?
He'll let you on after you go to Microsoft.
It come if I put in my email address on Google, it'll Microsoft, when you hit the next button or whatever, Microsoft's page will automatically come up and ask me to type in my username and password, and it'll let me on to my email, but it won't let me on to their registration system, which is what I had my records in, because they got a big, which is on a different system, because they've got a big red message on there in big bold letters that says accounts previous to fall of 2021 are no longer accessible.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
getting kind of weird in there. I'm back. Got that email sent, so hopefully we'll look at those houses tomorrow. Well, are we going to be calling you Professor Cheek here pretty soon, or what's the deal?
Well,
No, wait a minute, Alex. We're always going to call you Alex. We're not ever going to address you as Professor Cheek. We need to clear that air real quick.
well,
There's no well. It's always going to be Alex.
I prefer to be addressed as Alex because there was one guy at college. Even though he's older than me, he always called me by my last name. No matter how many times I told him he could just call me Alex.
Right, but if you get the position at the college, I was kind of making fun of you, so we're going to have to call you Professor Cheek.
Well, I wouldn't be a professor, so you don't have to do that.
Oh, good. We'll start calling you Professor Cheek then. Nobody will catch the joke. Talk me into that one.
So Alex, is Alex short for Alexander, or is it?
Yes, it is.
It'd be
Short for Alexander.
Okay.
That was an annoyance of being at high school. At high school, when you logged into their computer system, they made me. My username was Alexander. I had to type in the full thing. Alexander Cheek, not just first initial last names.
Well, it's interesting. The first place I worked, way back in the day, we all had 3-letter user IDs on the mainframes, and it was your initials. But somebody already had my initials, so they reversed the first 2 initials, made that my user ID.
They did that for somebody, one of the faculty members that was my college algebra teacher. They did that for her because the email addresses are typically first initial last name at the domain. Well, for her last name was a really long, really funky to say last name, so they made her email address first name, last initial. So instead of being first initial, last name, hers was first name, last initial, which made it easier for people to, if it was the last name, it would have been easy to misspell.
Reminds me of the guy in my basic training unit, his last name was Mikolajczyk. Drill sergeant called him Alphabet.
I think that's a rule that
That's the guy's
somebody
name.
called that.
What's that?
I think that's a rule that somebody in the group has to be called that.
Yeah, well, I think there were, if memory serves, and it may not after 50 years, I think we had more than one alphabet. Because we had
Let me go tell
2
Lori.
people with, it's not Cyrillic, that's the alphabet, with Slavic names or something that were very long.
And a couple of Italians are fairly long. So, mine's only 12, so it's a small last.
However, it was worse to be from Texas than to have a long name. So, those guys
There's
caught
only
a lot of
two
flack
things.
for some reason. I'm not
There's
sure.
only 2 things from Texas: steers and people. Am I close?
Something like that. Although that's not what, I don't remember, but there was something about the drill sergeants didn't like people from Texas for some reason.
I'm glad I was never military because I'd be the stockade for saying stuff like, "Okay, so I'm a steer. What are you?" They don't like that.
No, Gary.
I have a cousin who got out of Vietnam by going to too much school.
Well, I got out of going there because I was sent to engineer officer candidate school, and there was, although I arrived on time, there's always, they call overflow. There were like 60 some of us that were too many to start in the first class of that session. So we were waiting around for the next class. And during that period, the Army decided that the war was starting to wind down and they didn't need that many engineer officers. So they said, if you agree not to go to officer candidate school, we'll take a year off your enlistment, and we'll send you any place you want, guaranteed for 1 year. And so,
I wouldn't take that deal. I'm sorry.
so by, the thing that made that a good deal was that at that time at least, when you were sent overseas, on the day you arrived in country, you had to have at least 6 months left on your enlistment. And by taking that deal, I would have had 5 months and 15 days left or something like that. And so there was no way they could send me overseas at that point.
Nowhere to be at.
And out of the 60-some people waiting for the class who were offered the deal, all but 3 people took it.
I would have taken it in a heartbeat.
Yep. And I ended up 60 miles from home for the last year and almost year and so many months I was in the Army.
Yeah, on weekends, just when you had a patch or something, you're on bed probably.
Well, or, yeah, I could if I had enough money to buy gas.
Gas back then was 20 cents a gallon, probably.
Well, let's see, that time it was probably 40 cents a gallon, 45 in Kansas.
Does anyone know if Doug's doing anything tomorrow?
Haven't heard anything, but usually does.
No, I haven't heard anything either. That's why I asked. I just wonder if he's going to be painting.
He doesn't have anything listed.
Oh, God, they said 10.
No, if I do, it'll be from the phone, and I might do something when we're in one of the houses. I don't know. It's going to be a very busy, long, short day because she's got to be at work at 6 on Sunday. Oh, they fired their director of nursing and another nurse today. Director of nursing has been there 3 weeks.
Is there
They fired him.
anybody left working there besides your wife?
Barely.
That place seems to go through people like, I don't know what.
Yeah, it's a pretty horrible
Like
place.
running water.
Really?
It's pretty horrible. The rumor was there was some narcotics,
Yes, sir.
or as it has referred to, a controlled substance. It's the same thing. Missing, and those two were escorted out of the building. And like everywhere else, rather than what should have happened, and I don't want to get on my soapbox, but what should have happened is they should have been arrested if they're stealing narcotics.
Except crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, except crack.
Depends.
We'll let that one go.
Depends what kind of proof.
Well, that's just it. They probably didn't have enough to do that, but just enough to say you can leave on your own accord, or we'll walk you out of
Is
the building.
Illinois a work at will state?
You know, I don't know.
Nevada's a work at will, unless you're a member of what's called a protected class. Either party can just say, I'm gone, or you're gone, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. I worked at a facility in California where the administrator, the director of nursing, and 3 of the 5 counselors were caught with evidence stealing from the residents. And we're talking huge chunks of change. The corporate came in, and the corporate was located out of Massachusetts. They came in and they said, you have 2 choices. You can quit on your own accord, or we will take care of it for you, at which we will report you to the state. You'll lose your licensing and all that. Should have never been a question. It should have been an immediate, you're fired, we're reporting to the state, and whatever comes from it, comes from it. But that's the dumb game they play. They all went elsewhere and started new businesses and took half the people out of that facility.
Well, it's less paperwork for corporate, that's why they do
Of
it.
course. Of course.
And they're trying to set up paying the patients back, or, I mean, their, relatives for that.
Yeah, I knew I was at the wrong facility when I went in to see the administrator, because I had registered an issue that I had when I caught someone stealing something, an employee, and her exact words were, I would rather have employees that are stealing from the patients that are showing up for work than people that don't show up to work. I quit the next day.
Excuse me.
Well, because I didn't know it at the time, but of course she would, because she was involved with it. She was the one running it. I caught an employee stealing from one of our residents. Blatant. Just blatant. And literally went, ha ha ha, nothing will happen to me. Well, know why now? Because when I went to her to talk to her about it, she said, I would rather have people working for me that are stealing than not have people working for me. And the one that no longer worked there from the next day was me. I'm not putting my reputation on the line. At least not at the time. Can we say hi? Hang on a minute. No promises. That's usually a real touchy subject, but no promises. We'll see. Can you come in here and say hi? You do request to say hi. You, I did request you to say hi.
So how long have y'all been on before I joined? What, about an hour or so? I mean,
I don't know, I was only here maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes.
Like that one?
20 minutes maybe.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
I'm only asking because I was bombarded with messages as to why I'm not here. And by bombarded, I mean Rick and Ken.
How am I being involved in bombarding? I don't even know what's going on. What's going on? All right, here we go. We may or may not get Miss Comedic to come in and say hi.
Who wants to say hi?
Hello, my wonderful, beautiful friend. Guys, what?
Hello, everybody. Who?
Says, where's my wife? Can we get her to say hi? So say hi.
Hi.
The camera's there. Don't
Oh,
look there and wait for hi. Rookies.
You
Hello.
gotta get those creepy pumpkins out of there.
I strategically moved those around just for you, and on the green screen, I can actually move just enough where they pop into the green screen. I was practicing.
What?
See, I'm very famous.
Hello.
He's very famous, yes. 2 thumbs up. Okay.
So she's made her obligatory hi for the second time tonight. You all right, Gary? You sound like you fell in the lake.
No, I'm not.
And she
Okay.
accuses me of being the comedic one and the overacting one.
You know who first Laconic is? Laconic?
Laconic's probably one of the first ones that joined way back when, but I do know that certain things I'll put up with, certain things I won't put up with, and if you cross the line, you're gone, and I just kicked one out, and I don't feel bad about it at all. If I lose a subscriber, I lose a subscriber. She's a pretty good sport about it most of the time. Oh, my hair's messed up. She messed my hair up. I mean, it's kind of odd that she's wanted to do a YouTube thing for quite a long time now, but I can't get her to sit down in front of a camera to do anything. We did a cooking thing way back when. Okay, why is Jeff out of focus on Zoom, but he's out of focus over. You're a tad bit out of focus.
Yeah, he's out of focus.
Yep, there he comes. It looks like an old age moment. Wait a minute. Huh? What's wrong? Now you were clearly out of focus. Let me refresh over
I wonder
here.
what it is.
I think it's the camera on your side.
There we go. So,
I
Rip,
don't know what the deal is.
caught a bit that you had some wind today.
Oh yeah, it's very windy.
A lot of snow.
No snow. Just bitterly cold and very windy.
We had rain all day.
Don't know what I did. I shut the video off and started it again. Seems to be better.
Jeff's camera was on union break.
Is that what it is? That mandatory break.
Yeah.
Didn't know I had a union shop.
I got your message. It's just been a relatively hectic day, and
No,
tomorrow's
that's all
just
right.
gonna be a
That's good.
driving day. We're gonna have to get up and probably in Indiana around 10. Spend a little bit of time with the grandkids, and then we're gonna see my mom. Hopefully, look at the house behind her house while we're there, and then go
So,
a bit north to go look at those two, and then go south, and then come home.
so how many houses you gonna look at? 4?
At least 4. At least 4.
That would be a pretty quick look-see. If you're starting around noontime to look at the houses.
Yeah. Well, 2 of them are right there in the same general area. Look to be about 4 blocks apart, so that won't be too bad. The furthest one away is down in a little town called Franklin. It's about 8 miles from where my mom lives. And that'll be on the way home. Actually, that won't be a go there, go there, go there, go type of thing. It'll be a on the way out back to Illinois. We'll go there. It'll work out. It'll work out. I really do feel that it will.
There's one thing about houses or any property. There's always another one.
Oh, sure. Well, except here in Cornfield Heaven when houses are on the market for a very, very long time. I did notice one we looked at the other day, which was too far away, they had dropped the price. So housing in Indianapolis areas, the ridiculously stupid pricing is starting to come back down to reality a little bit. Couldn't get lucky with the one house that we all liked that had the theater in it, and that happened. Nope, it's still up there. So
My neighbor's house, he was telling me today, he had it appraised $275, and his is smaller than mine. He doesn't have a 2-story house.
yeah, we actually are going to look at one that has an HOA. It's like $10 a month. I'm not happy about that, but I can deal with $10 a month for an HOA.
Probably for trash pickup.
Something. Let me try that and see what happens. I don't know what happened. I clicked on something on YouTube to do something, and apparently nothing happened. I see our resident trader is over at Bonnie's.
I thought that earlier. Just hit my head.
I don't know if he might be lurking in ours too. I don't know. If he is, he hadn't said anything.
Is he actually in the Zoom portion or in
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw real quick he was in Carrie's, wasn't he, for a little bit?
I have no idea. I know Carrie was live, and
I think so. I only started to watch a little bit on my phone when we were sitting in the doctor's office, and then the doctor came in, so I only saw about 20 seconds worth. I saw his name in the comments. I thought, or in the chat, I'm sorry.
now there are only 3 people. Actually, she uses StreamYard. There's only 3 people there right now. He tends to go in that toward the end. Can't even type. Come on, fingers.
Gotta push the keys.
Yeah.
I get one of those voice boxes, voice to text.
That wouldn't be a good thing. I would probably get in trouble. Every now and then I gotta watch what I do on the phone because somehow I'll be texting and I don't catch what it's texting, and if I don't look, it autocorrects it to something that has nowhere near what I was talking about or texting about.
Yes. I have that happen all the time.
I did watch one video early this morning from Michael Fryer about you can now put your phone, be it an Android or the Google phone or the iPhone, into OBS and play your games on there. One, you gotta play.
Oh.
I'd have to play games to do that, which I don't. I just don't see the need for that. So let me see if I can freak Jeff out here a little bit.
You don't want to play SimCity on the big screen?
I've never played SimCity a day in my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to go over and play on my other computer now.
I can't wait to get the real green screen set up. That's just all virtual.
You gonna see your daughter-in-law tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I want to. I want to see the grandbaby as well, but I'm not sure on that. Only tomorrow will tell on that one. We will see the grandkids. That's a given. We will see my mom. We will see my brother. And we'll see at least 4 houses. I had to go the other night. I don't know if you guys caught it. I put it in chat that my son had been having a rough day all day long, and then when he called right before I put the message in there, I knew something was up. So it was better to not stick around on here muted and without the camera going. It just was going to take too much time, which it did. So I apologize for my abrupt leaving.
No need.
He's doing better. He's got a lot of insight for some things that are going on that a year and a half, 2 years ago, I would have never thought his thinking like that would have ever existed. But it's a good thing. It means he's growing up, he's maturing, and he's realizing that life is not a 24-hour party. And there are things you have to do in life that you may or may not like doing. So he sees other people that are doing it, and it frustrates him because he cares about these people, and you know, what can you do? And I said, you can't do anything, son. You can only do like what you did with you. We were there to help you when you needed it, but people have to learn things on their own, and usually it's the hard way. So yours truly included.
Those are the lessons that stick.
Usually they are, yes.
Others do too. I mean, it's just sometimes what parents did. I mean, if they set a particular example, I think you go back to that later in life. If they were consistent about how they did certain things, it's just like both of my parents lived through the Great Depression. And it was just that they were so conditioned to being frugal and not wasting stuff. But that's just what we did when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And my daughter and my grandchildren just are what to me seems flagrantly wasteful on some
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, my grandchildren, when they're here, they both like strawberry milk. So they stick some strawberry stuff in a glass and pour some milk in. But it's nothing to them if they drink a quarter of it and throw the rest away.
I've never understood that.
Well, I mean, Grandpa's got more later. I mean,
Yeah.
so, and it's just, and it's simply that kind of, and I know it seems to them like a little thing, and I forget the other day something with my grandson. He had misplaced something, and I said, well, you need to try and find it. He said, it's only $30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on.
It's
I mean,
only.
Right, I mean, it may not be the end of the world, but like what's his name said, a billion here and a billion there, or whatever.
Well,
We're talking real money at some point.
I know a 64-year-old. It's only. Well, the it's only will add up over time, and then it becomes out of control. We've had this conversation.
Well, I asked my grandson, I said, do you know why I have a little bit of money that I can spend on you kids sometimes? And he said, no. And I said, it's because I tried not to waste my money.
Right.
They say it's not the only reason. I've tried to be careful about what I spent, and that I was fortunate to have a good job and whatever. But it said I grew up lower middle class, and we didn't waste things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I find a penny on the sidewalk, I still pick it up. I mean, it's the way it is.
Only if it's heads
Now, a
up.
cent nowadays isn't worth that much, I grant you. But it's just habit. And some life lessons, like I grew up in this little bitty town, and when I was little, we still had a lumber yard and a grocery store and sometimes a cafe and whatever. And I went to the grocery store, which was like a block and a half away, to get something for my mom one time, and I found a $5 bill on the sidewalk on the way out. I brought it home and showed my mom, and she had me take it back and give it to the storekeeper and tell him somebody lost this here. Because, I mean, that $5 was important to somebody.
Sure.
And lessons like that, I mean, there's the things where you almost screwed up or whatever. For some reason, those are the things that stick with me. Try not to do them again.
Well, I noticed our chat bombers have kind of quieted down since I kicked one out. Probably the same one, just under different names. Laconic's been around before, though. I recognize him. He's actually a really talented artist. And I forget the other one I seen up there, Jorge, or... Yeah, Jorge. I kicked one out. Don't like doing that, but you cross the line, you cross the line. I'm not too forgiving on certain things nowadays for some reason. I'm not sure why. Old age, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we can come in here and have fun. You don't have to say silly, stupid stuff like that. It's uncalled for. I mean, Lorna could have been put her foot down and not played along with it. I'm glad she did. I really am. And I'm glad someone asked to see her and wanted her to say hi, and I'm glad she said hi. But then for someone to get out of line and, make the dumb comments, it's just... there's always got to be somebody ruin it. Always. No, Professor Alex, we're not talking about you.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to leave.
Do you prefer Professor Alex or Professor Cheek?
I mean,
Either.
Either.
Well, for something like that, you might actually get titled instructor. I've seen that for staff before.
director.
Well, the title is IT director.
Okay, well,
What they
director.
said is that Army only full-time IT person on campus at that particular site, that they send people from a college.
Yep.
Because the place where I went to college is the ones that's over this. It's like a career center.
So is this the new place they're putting in? You were telling us about?
New building, you said?
Yes, it's a whole new building.
Okay.
They posted. If you go to their front page of their website, they posted pictures of it on the front page of their website, so they're very proud of it.
Well, I wish you luck and success on that.
Yep.
I'm trying to type up. They require a cover letter, so I'm trying to type up a cover letter.
Okay.
If you get it and you're ever in a position where anyone can embarrass you, I promise I will not embarrass you. I will not come down there and embarrass you. You bet good money I'll be down there to embarrass you. I did that one time at Laura's work in Las Vegas. It was her birthday, and I went into the PA system, and the little lady at the receptionist, she didn't know no better. I said, "Hey, can I say something over your PA system?" And she said, "Sure." So she brings it up, hands me the phone, and I go, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite CNA's birthday. That's right. Let's all sing happy birthday to Lorna. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everyone. Thought it was funny, except this little gay guy who comes up and goes, "Don't ever do that again." And I'm like, "Okay." 2 weeks later, yes, I'm talking about you. Well, half the world heard it. Hey, it's your hour. It's time for you to host the show for an hour. See how this goes over.
Your background went blurry.
Yeah, I blurted out. I was freaking I was freaking Jeff out whenever I moved. There we go. Oh, look, I can get them both. How'd I do that? Let's see, right? Doggone it. Whoa.
Move to your left with the hand.
Yeah, everything's backwards, but I had them briefly both there.
Yeah, there you go. Keep
Go.
going up a little bit. There you go, right there. Now you gotta make them dance.
When they
Oh,
start
the
dancing,
dancing
I'm
girls
gone.
wasn't enough. Now Greg wants dancing pumpkins. Okay.
When the pumpkins start dancing, I'm gone. Or I'll be, Ken, look out!
when the pumpkins start going, get out.
Talking pumpkins, there you go.
Well, there was already a rock group called Smashing Pumpkins. But you know,
I found a canned thing that Whispers Get Out. But it was in a place I had to pay money, had to make an account and pay a monthly fee to download stuff. So I haven't found a free one yet.
well, I'm sure they exist.
Oh yeah.
I really do. See how
I
long
just
we've been
did
going
what I'm
here.
looking for and put the word soundbite. A lot of websites come up free.
The chat kind of died. I wonder if Tony's still with us. And Robert's at work, so I know he can't join just yet. He'll probably join Zoom after we go off of the stream itself. Kenny Whitten was there earlier.
Tony was there earlier. I don't see
Yeah, Tony.
in
I
a
haven't
while.
seen anybody in a while now. I turned off timestamps. They got to be kind of annoying. Nothing. Now that Blackwatch isn't showing up, I can start doing crickets again. Find me a real good cricket soundbite. Tony's still with us. Got the thumbs up, seal of approval. That used to bug the holy living daylights out of me. You text somebody on the phone and they send back, you know, "Hey, how's your mom doing? How's that dead cat of yours doing?" You know, just make sure they're truly reading your messages. I used to hate that. That and some of the LOL and the ROFL and some of them that you can't ever figure out. That used to get to me, but I'm mellowing out a little. Every once in a great while, somebody will send me a message. Tony, every once in a great while, somebody will send me a message, and to be cute, I'll go, all right, someone else take it away.
I think I sent you something the other day when I said LOL. The end.
Was it on Facebook Messenger or in an email?
Yeah, it was on Messenger. I
Oh,
think.
well, I can check that out.
I don't remember now.
No, you sent on Monday at 22 p.m. You sent the blue thumb.
Yeah. Well, I could have said the yellow finger.
Yeah, really. So, right there, Jeff and Sid, and at 10:22, the blue thumb. Of course,
I grabbed the wrong symbol.
I'll be bombarded with those now, which is fine. I don't mind. I poke enough fun at people. Oh, I like that, Greg. I like that. That is nice.
See it.
Yes, I've been waiting for y'all to. I was hoping that you might. Sorry to Zoom earlier this afternoon, Jim, but I've been checking in.
Yeah, I
once in a
was.
while and see if you're started, and it said waiting for host to join meeting, so to start. So
Yeah, I wanted to get that little video out that I did, and I wanted to use that effect using the green screen on Zoom. So I actually did start it, but I didn't use the normal credentials because once someone joins, it kills it. So until I break down and get,
account you set up or something?
I can use it over there, but it's not near as clear as what it is when I use this account, and I don't know why. I think because
Well, what causes the thing to go away when somebody joins?
well, it doesn't truly go away. It just gets all out of whack. If I start it back up right now, if I come in here to OBS and I fire it back up and give it time to kick in, and then go to the green screen over here.
So this is what's coming through on.
Yeah, it'll eventually, if it works. That was the other thing I was having problems with. I was setting it up. It was working just fine. And just as now, see, it's duplicated over there for some reason. And as soon as I went to use it, now you'll see there's two of me. There's one that's this one. Oh, look, here we go. Let's mess with Greg a little bit. Where's the pumpkins at? All right, Greg, Jeff. There's one. There we go. So I like the blue or the green screen effect when I'm doing something in OBS because it brings me to the forefront. I would rather it be like that than be in the background. And for some reason, it's picking this entire screen up and doing that effect with it. As long as no one's in here, it's just me and it works just fine. Other than that, I don't know why it does it. I did watch an interesting thing and had the word lag, L-A-G, explained to me. And what we all consider to be lag is truly not lag. It's the latency of the stream. Lag is, the way that it was explained, lag is where when, let me get this going. Lag is where if I move my hand across here and it moves relatively smoothly on the stream, there's no lag. But if I move my hand across here and on the stream it goes, that is lag. And there's potentially nothing you can do about it, they said. I'm actually getting way too involved on some of this. Kenny Wooden is still here, trying to clean the printer head on his printer, and his hands had ink on them. Ooh, that sounds like that's no fun.
Time to get the bleach out.
Well, I don't have a printer.
I was thinking about buying one.
Look, Jeff's showing us a work picture.
That was from something I found online, a projection of what the first home computer would look like. Have a steering wheel.
I was going to say, it looks like the submarine steering wheel from Voyage at the Bottom of the Sea.
Yep. Yep.
Richard Baystar.
So, Rick, have you done any more experimenting with OBS?
No, not really. Haven't had time to. I'm hoping to do one of these days.
Right.
Third Tuesday of next month.
Well, let's see. The first Tuesday will be what? The 3rd? No, that's a Thursday. Did you say Tuesday or Thursday?
Third Tuesday.
Third Tuesday will be the 15th.
That's daylight savings. No.
No, that's on the 13th, on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then the first day of spring is the following Sunday on the 20th.
I'll tell you something weird. I raked and cut my front lawn today. It's 66 degrees.
He's just itching to go in the waiting room. I'm telling you, he's like begging to be put in that waiting room.
Please.
You raked and mowed your lawn
Yeah.
on February 11th.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
need to rake. It doesn't need mowing yet. But I've got a tree there that's dropping little sticks.
Wow. We still got little spittings of. Hey, Jared. I'm going to ask Jared a very odd question. Are you Jared Spain from South Korea? This will be so odd if it is. The only reason I ask is because his picture looks like my friend on one of my military groups. We were stationed together in South Korea. That would be cool, though.
Doug has the thing for tomorrow.
Oh, he's got it scheduled now?
Yeah, computer won't start after Windows update.
That'll be 3 hours.
What time is it scheduled for?
2.
To his time?
To your time, or yeah, I was going to say, to whose time?
There's several people that watch in the back.
To what?
I was looking to see who's on Bonnie.
Oh. I asked Jared, and he asked me to repeat the question. I said, is this Jared Spain, who or was it Spain? I'm having a senior citizen moment. Give me a second.
No, you're not 65 yet.
No, I'm not. It's just true. Although I've got the beard for it. And if we didn't just dye the hair again last night. Anyway, do we know each other from Uijeonbu, South Korea? That would be really cool if it's you, Specialist Spain, which I know went on to become way higher than that. So Doug's scheduled at 2. And that's going to make a short day for me. Subscriptions. Plus other texts. That's funny.
So did you get a notification, Gary, or
What?
about Doug? Or you
No, I went back to the
Drawing board or the thing?
kind of like the sign on where you don't have your user ID in yet.
Okay.
I thought the name on YouTube sounded familiar. Yours or mine, Jared? This is going to be kind of odd and eerie if we were stationed together in South Korea. We are friends on Facebook, and we belong to a couple of military groups. What a small world if it is.
He may be from Subway.
Let us hope not. I'm more of a Jimmy John's man myself, but
I haven't tried those yet. Are they pretty good?
they're not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad at all.
Alright.
I recognize your name and I look
You ever
very
try
familiar.
Capriotti's?
What's the other? Jersey Mike's, I think, is another one.
Yeah.
I've never had one of those.
You ever tried Capriotti's when you were here in Vegas?
No. No.
They have a good one that's got turkey and dressing and cranberry in it.
I'll tell you one I did like it in Vegas, though, was Firehouse Subs.
Yeah, we got one right on the corner here.
Never used them here. They had one in Aiken, South Carolina, that I liked. Firehouse. It was near where I worked.
I had tabbouleh for lunch, and they put too much spearmint in it.
Never heard of it.
It's
Hey, Tom, good evening.
say Middle Eastern something.
Yep, partially salad, basically.
There's a gal on PBS that used to have a food show who was from the Middle East someplace originally, and she used that as her last name for the purposes of the show. Julie Tabbouleh.
That's not going to draw viewers at all.
She was enough to draw the viewers.
Was she? Do I not have that in here? Apparently I do not. Oh no, there it is. As the sign says. I think a guy I was stationed with in South Korea is one of my subscribers on Facebook, or on the street. Yeah, because he popped in and said, "Hi, Ken." And I looked at that thing, I'm like, I know this guy. So I said, "He's over there like that, yeah." And he goes, "I thought you were." So I was like, yeah. That's what I was. Still watching the TV or still crying? Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. The bad thing is it picks me up too. If I could just make an effect where this would come floating in. Gives me a DaVinci Resolve project to work on.
That could wait till after you move.
Oh gosh, there's things I want to do, but I use that exact logic. That can wait until after we move. Of course, then 6 months after we move, that can wait until after, and that can wait until after. No, I really enjoyed doing the little thing with Greg's suggestion of the 3 dancing girls. I really had fun doing that, and I really enjoyed how it turned out. And now that Tim has pointed out maybe the things need to be a little bit bigger. Not only that, but some of them are one size and some of them are another size. Some of them spin at 5 seconds per frame, and some of them spin at 12 seconds per frame. So there's just little things that I've noticed that I need to go in and fix. So it's fun. It's fun. So Gary left, it looks like. Who else is left? Jeff? No, Jeff's still here. Greg's still here. Rick's still here. I'm still here. Obviously.
Only the people that count.
Oh, I got an email. Oh, wow. She just sent
You
a
got
listing.
mail.
Well, it's another listing. And she just sent it. Let's go see what this. So 12:45 to 1:15 is the Franklin. 1:45 to 2:15 is back in Indianapolis. Boy, that's backtracking. And then 2:30 to 3, right around the corner. So it's actually going to be in the reverse order of what I like, but I can live with that. So I accounted for the yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
to here. I did peek in on Carrie today. I didn't stick around. I forget what the time frame was, but I did say hi
Yeah,
to
I saw
a
you
couple
there.
people. Just had to have a little break from what I was doing. And then I really took the break and went in and started watching the pink. I was scrolling through the NVIDIA Shield setting up some favorites, and I came across that movie, and I thought, I'm just going to watch this for a little bit. Can't beat the original Peter Sellers version, though. That's always going to be my favorite.
Yeah.
Pink Sellers, or Pink Panther. That when he goes in and there's a bee that lands on the grand piano, and he's got that ball and chain on his arm, and he smashes it. The guy goes, "That's a baby grand piano," and Sellers goes, "Not anymore." No, Tom, I did not get it. I hope to pick up the laptop tomorrow. But again, like Jeff just said, that's something that can happen after we move. One of the last things I need is to bring a laptop over here and start tearing it down right before we're going to pack up and... Right, no, yeah, I figured that's the one you were talking about. No, I've not gotten it. I mean, it'd be nice if...
Put out 8 movies last year.
Who did?
Bruce Willis.
Really?
Yeah.
How many of them were on Amazon or Roku or Apple TV?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't say.
I'm just looking at what's new on DVD. Release dates.
Yeah,
They got a movie out called The Fabulous Filipino Brothers.
got the what? Got the who?
The Fabulous Filipino Brothers.
Shh, don't
Rated
say.
6.0.
Shh, not too loud. We don't need her to hear the Fabulous Filipino Brothers. I'll have to get that. Welcome back, Gary.
Thank you.
Green screen again, or you just had to go?
No, actually, I got an update.
Oh.
I was using a different laptop to upgrade at home, and I traded back to the bigger one. That's very screen.
Speaking of updates, I finally, when we got around to doing the updates from Tuesday today, and that was the longest update for the shortest update that came out.
Mine was short.
The update itself was short, and then it required a restart. When I hit restart, it said, "Do not touch your system," whatever that is, and it was just going round and round and round. I got up and walked away, and I don't know how long it took, but when I came back in the room, it was finally restarted and running, because my fear was it was taking so long. My fear was I'm going to come back in here, Windows 11 is going to be on this dumb machine, and then I was not going to be happy. And that would have been par for the course for today. Today has been, you name it, it literally went wrong. It started out when I went to pick up my bowl that my breakfast was in and dropped it. But I got fortunate that when the bowl fell with the food in it, the food fell with the bowl and ended back in the bowl. So that was good. The spoon went otherwise, but that was no big deal. Then I go to set my coffee cup down, and what happens? I don't have it flat on the table, and I spill my coffee.
Kind of funny, not funny.
I'm going to start this day all over.
And then I started to say the proverbial, "What else?" I'm not going to finish that sentence because I don't want to know. And at dinner, what happens? I bite my lip. Been one of those days. Do I, Gary?
I was joking. I think you decided to bite your own lip.
I'm not sure how it happens, but I was munching on some bourbon chicken, and all of a sudden I was like, "Ah, damn, that hurt." And I realized I bit my lip. I think what frustrated me the most out of all that was spilling my coffee. It was kind of humorous, the plate, or it was actually a bowl, and the fact that everything is almost like in slow motion. It falls, and I'm thinking, oh, that food's going to go everywhere, and this is just going to be a big mess, and Just right right back in it. Good. Not a problem. But the coffee, now that was a huge mess. That was not good at all. And then I joked with Lorna tonight. I told her when I fed the chickens, I said, we're missing one chicken. She goes, what do you mean we're missing one chicken? I said, well, it started pecking on me, so I launched it into orbit, and I think I might have launched it a little too high because it hadn't come down yet. And she looked at me, and she was dead serious. She goes, really? I'm like, no, I'm just messing with you.
Did you hear
Uh,
the solar storm knocked out 40 of Skylink satellites?
I saw that. I read that, yes.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I also heard he pretty much put the kibosh on the kid that hacked into his plane, I think it was.
I don't think it was his plane. I think it was where, when, and how he was leaving. In other words, stalking him.
Yeah, technically. But I heard he offered him a pretty good chunk of change to make it go away, and the kid said no, and he retaliated with something, and I guess Musk said no, and then the kid retaliated with something else, and I think Elon finally said, you know what, I'm the one that's got the powers of technology here. Stop, done, no longer being bothered. So I think it was a 19-year-old kid, if I remember right. I think I would have taken when he offered him a Tesla, I think I'd have taken that. Speaking of Tesla, you know what I saw for the first time tonight? I've never seen this until tonight, and I seen it in Effingham, Illinois. Anybody? Gary?
The pickup.
No.
No, there is a pickup coming.
Tesla charging stations at a gas station.
Really?
Yes.
Who paid for that, I wonder? They
I
probably
have
did.
no clue. There were 4 cars at the gas pumps getting gas, and there were 0 cars at the Tesla charging stations.
The damn things cost $2,700 installed.
How? So, how does that work? You pull up, plug your car in, go find something to do for a while it recharges?
They'll give you 80% in 20 minutes.
Well, that's not bad. And the cost of that's what?
About $25. About the same as gas.
I was going to say about a tank, yeah. I don't know, gas is $3.67 I saw tonight.
Or $3.49.
You kidding me, Gary? I thought that was free. I thought it was free. You just pull up there and plug your car in. I didn't know you had to pay for it.
Somebody that paid for it. I haven't used one up here, but it's in Kentucky and Ohio.
Now, can you get from Michigan to Kentucky and Ohio and back to Michigan on one charge?
Hell no.
Don't even think about that.
At 55 mile an hour in extended range, I can get to Kentucky. But if I hit 70, 80, forget it. The faster you go, the less distance you travel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
because
the argument is just like a gas car.
Those secondaries kick in, there goes the gas.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
I think I've said this before here, but I still have this, I call everything a fantasy, not a fantasy, but we have 340 million cars in America. If every automaker only made the same number they made 2 years ago in electric cars, it'll still take 20 years to get enough to replace what we have. But yet everybody is going to be 30, 35, 20, 30, or 35. Logically can't happen.
Yeah, my biggest fear of an electric car is if you're driving from the East Coast to the West Coast, you're probably not going to make that trip in 2 or 3 days like you can in a gas-powered car.
Well, they had what they called a gumball rally for electric cars, and it took just under 8 days because of the charging. And they weren't going slow. And they said besides the miles you get, it's finding charging along the way. Because right now there isn't any.
Right, that would be my biggest fear is you plan a trip and then you get out and let's just say South Dakota and all of a sudden you find there's no place to charge your car.
Yeah.
AAA going to come out and help you out? So I'm kind of saying that in humor because I honestly don't know.
That's why Biden's gonna pay for 5,000 charging stations.
I have a question nobody will ask me, but try to ask it officially. Ford or GM or Tesla? You do know all three of those charging stations are different.
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Somebody
Proprietary.
kind of proposed a standard, but I don't know if it'll go over.
Hasn't yet. I mean, I'm not a fan of electric, not, and plus you gotta, somebody's gotta pay to charge those suckers. I mean, the fuel to make the electric come out of, the charger. That's gonna be a lot of electric, 300 million cars.
It's interesting that you got three different makers and three different ways of charging.
There's about 6 electric vehicle makers right now, but those are the big 3 so far.
I enjoyed our little hybrid we had. That thing was nice. Had the big old battery went across underneath the back seat.
I've rented these cars.
Prius or what?
It was a Honda. Wasn't a Prius. It was a Honda.
Don't remember what theirs is.
Oh, me neither right now.
Was it Pilot?
No, it was a car. Here, I'll ask my dictionary. Babe! What was the name of that dumb blue car we had?
Big dumb.
Yeah, there was a dumb blue car. What was the name of the blue hybrid car we had, the Honda?
Oh, inside.
Insight.
That's what my mom had.
Told you she would remember. Watch this. I'll ask her, what were we doing on the evening of October 31st, 2007?
I don't know.
Oh, she will. I can vaguely remember it, but I would not be able to remember it in the great detail she could tell you. She could probably tell you the name of the food we had for dinner. Never seen someone with such a memory.
Something has come out today in the news, so I can say something about it. Very little, but a little bit. Have you heard of Microsoft 365? It's the office that they charge so much a month for.
Yeah.
Do you have heated seats in your car?
We do, yes.
Well, when you buy your next car, you'll have heated seats, whether you like it or not.
Really?
But to use them, you'll have to pay $3 or $4 a month.
Why?
It'll be a subscription, just like Microsoft Office.
That's funny.
There was a big stink recently. Somebody had proposed doing that for remote start.
Toyota.
Pretty soon you're gonna have to pay it, put your key in and start your damn vehicle.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things they're going to have like that. Extra part of your radio, your entertainment center. They're looking at air conditioning on the different cars. I mean, if it's a quote Cadillac, you might get air conditioning. If it's I realize they don't make Focus anymore for Ford. I don't think they do. You'll have to pay for it to get it.
I know what my next business adventure is going to be.
Saying it'll be on the car, but it won't be active unless you get a subscription.
Yep.
Well, you're gonna have to pay more money up front for it, just to be on the car.
Yeah.
Not really. From what I know for a fact, it's not that much more because if you spread the heated seats out over every car and don't have to worry about making a mistake, it'll be cheaper. Because every car will come up into the line and gone.
I guess I'll just have to warm it with my butt.
And then at the end of the line, you say, okay, we recorded this car, and you start training on modules with the computer.
Black watch got hidden. Uh-oh, gotta see what that's about. That gives me A little bit of fodder for my next business adventure. Bring back the horse and buggy. And then when I have the heated horse and buggy seats, I can charge people a monthly fee.
Okay, where do you think the methane gas comes? It pollutes everything.
I'm not
Horses
worried
and
about
cows.
that.
I'm staying with my 1997 tractor. Don't cost me nothing.
Yeah, depending, if they start charging extra for air conditioning, depending where they're trying to sell it, there'll be a lot of pushback.
I agree with you.
That doesn't mean it won't happen.
Well, oddly enough, we bought this CRV in May of 2019, right before we moved here. And it has heated seats. So was it just sheer dumb luck we bought a vehicle with heated seats to move to Illinois?
No.
Because it wasn't planned. This was something she saw online at Honda West of all places, and we went and looked at it, and they had it, and she had her mind set on getting this car, so we got it.
Something to make money at Microsoft and do it for a monthly. So looking forward.
Hopefully a hacker will write a script for it and turn it off.
Oh, speaking
and
of scripts,
pay for it.
I need
Well,
to
this
get.
is all gonna be remotely accessible by the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Greg's got the right idea. Somebody will come along and figure out a workaround around it.
Well, the problem is they're going to check every month what you got.
Somebody will figure out how to circumvent it.
Yeah, you were speaking about the Focus. I had bought one of those for my daughter to drive, but for a while we bought it used, and because she was going to have it, not necessarily, I went ahead and bought an extended warranty for it, which I don't normally do, and paid, I don't know, $2,400 for it. And before it got in the accident, Ford had put nearly $5,000 worth of repairs into it under that extended warranty. So I got my money back and doubled it, so to speak. And it didn't have any transmission problems, which is what the Focus was famous for.
So somebody
But it
mentions
had a short near the fuse box and it kept blowing computer modules.
Sorry.
somebody mentioned script, and that got me to thinking. Somebody pointed me in Jeff's direction that you know how to write scripts.
I can use simple batch file type scripts. I don't know PowerShell or anything like that.
Somebody
In a
just
pinch, I could write a Unix script if I had to, depending which shell you're using.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if I can do an outro that when the outro ends, it can, instead of going to another scene, it can actually end the YouTube stream for me.
Well, I mean, is that like an OBS thing?
It'd be an OBS, yeah.
I assume they have a scripting language of some sort.
They've got a,
Or do they have a thing that you can record, quote, record a script?
you can open it. This is how I fixed a lot of things the other day. You can open it up, and I've got 3 scripts right now, and they're all real simple.
Okay.
I think the issue I'm going to run into, and I haven't really sat down and kind of, written it out and drawn it out and figured it out or anything, but I'm going, in OBS I go from one scene to another. When the intro scene stops, it goes to this main scene. So that's fine, that makes sense. Can it be written so that when it ends, instead of going to a scene, it jumps over to YouTube and automatically clicks the end stream button to end the stream? And I don't know if that can be done or not.
That I don't know. I'd have to look at both of them, the scripting stuff for both of them.
Well, after we get moved, well, that's another one of those after we get moved things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can or not, though. I mean,
I have some simple batch files I run every day to back up stuff. Email and if I have new documents, and I'm just using X copy. There are some things it'll choke on. I haven't quite figured that out yet. There's a new command which I did not know about until I stumbled onto it called robocopy. That's a batch file command, and I'm told it'll do what I want. But it's like I just run this batch file on a computer every day, and if it finds a new document I haven't copied onto my external drive, it copies it. And it's just using the Xcopy command, so it's pretty simple-minded, but it works. So in a pinch, if I lose everything, I can reinstall Windows from scratch, reinstall all my software from scratch, because I have all the files and the license keys and all that, and I can restore all of these documents and emails and such with the batch file. So that's kind of my last resort sort of thing for backing up stuff. If you want to learn the newer shells like Microsoft PowerShell, I mean, it's quite powerful. It's like some of the scripting languages in Linux or Unix or whatever that can do all kinds of things.
I am going to go ahead and end
have
the stream real
felt the
quick.
urge to go in and learn that in my old age.
We're in an hour and 56 minutes, so we're coming up on the 2 hours. I've already got the thing typed in, but I want to thank Tony Wallow, Tom K, RM, Kenny Witten, King Logan, First Laconic, and anyone else that I may have missed and or kicked out of the stream tonight. Thank you guys. Tomorrow night, there'll be a stream, of course, because we all know the day ends in Y, but it might be a little bit later, like 9 o'clock-ish, time I get back and get a little bit rejuvenated. But there'll be a stream. I know you guys are like, when is he not going to stream? When is he going to not stream on one day? All right, I'm ending the stream now. Thank you, Tony. Oh, wait a minute.
What are you trying to do in OBS, Ken?
Do what?
What are you trying to do in OBS?
Well, let me demonstrate that. So, what I want to do...
I found a bunch of OBS scripts.
Okay, so here, if you look at... Well, let me just share the screen. That way everybody's seeing it. If I can even share the screen. Okay, so you guys should now be seeing both on the YouTube stream and on the Zoom. This is the intro that I created because somebody wanted 3 dancing girls, which he got. And then I just added the cubes and the pictures. And I'm going to adjust that and make another one. Probably after we get moved. But when this ends, it will automatically jump back over to the Zoom screen. Or the Zoom scene. If you look right down here, you got demo, introduction, and then there's all this what does that. In one of these sources, it's written when you end, jump down to this scene right here. So what we'll do is we'll watch this together, and when this pops up, it's going to look real hinky because when you share your screen, Zoom gets reduced to practically nothing. I do know how to adjust the time, I just haven't done it yet. I do want to reduce it down to about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. 2 minutes was good to start with. I've got some ideas for the pictures. I do want to get them all as uniform as I can, both in size and their spinning ratios. And I want to do the same thing with an outro that something will happen, a little bit of background gimmicky stuff, whatever. But when it ends, I would like it to be able to stop the stream for me. Now, and I'll demonstrate how to stop the stream here in just a second. I don't think it can be done, and I don't think it can be done because you're going from an OBS program trying to get into YouTube to do something. Now, here's my hands, and you'll see that jumped automatically over to there. So now,
Ian,
yeah, Alex.
will you
message me your phone number so I can put you down as a reference?
Sure. So when I go into here now, the YouTube stream is not seeing this, but you guys are. When I click in stream, when I do the outro, I want it to automatically click here to end the stream, and then it will say your stream will stop immediately. I want it to click here to end the stream.